Let's bring in Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer NBA on TNT analyst. Reg gets the call Thursday night. The Lakers and the Cavaliers, 8 Eastern on TNT. How about that matchup, Reg?
I'm excited about that because you've got the red-hot Cleveland Cavaliers, obviously the front runner, in my opinion, for the MVP and LeBron James, who is playing spectacular in his 15th season, and a fun team to watch. Your favorite team, the Los Angeles Lakers. You love watching this young talent evolve. They do play hard. I like their style of play. They're going to have their ups and downs, but the product is much better than it's been the last couple of years for the Lakers. Brandon
Ingram has made there's something that's different with him this year as opposed to previous, two previous years. What has changed with Brandon Ingram?
I think his confidence truly has gone through the roof. And if you look over the last 3 to 4 weeks, Luke Walton has done a great job of basically just putting the ball in his hands and letting him be the go-to guy. And the game winner in Philly, the coming-out game versus Kevin Durant and the Warriors, even though they lost that game at Staples, to go toe-to-toe with the Finals MVP, it was a confidence booster for Ingram. And you see each and every game him getting the opportunity to be the go-to player on this young team, and he's evolving into that.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, and you see that there's this improvement. I didn't know if he would grow into that body. Not that Durant has grown into his, and maybe he can kind of look at Durant and model his game after him, but I've seen marked improvement, and by all accounts, people with the Lakers say he's first there and last to leave, that he's putting in the effort, and it's certainly showing. So it'll be Lakers Cavaliers coming up at 8 Eastern on Thursday night on TNT. Have you seen enough with the Thunder to have an opinion?
We talked about this the first 2 weeks of the season, you and I, that I wasn't going to get too high or too low on teams that got off to hot starts or teams that were struggling. I usually like to give all teams until January 1st. Is it head-scratching that after 26 games this team is 12-14? Absolutely. Lack of ball movement. And between the big three of the Thunder, Westbrook, George, and Carmelo, all three need to have the basketball to be successful. There's no one that's making anyone else better. So it's certainly been head-scratching, but they've got, in my opinion, before I really start to judge the team, 2 to 3 more weeks, because if they're playing like this and hovering around 500 come January 1st, I know you've seen the movie Titanic, right?
Yes, I have.
You remember when the band continued to play?
Yes. Yeah.
Cue the music for the Thunder, okay? Because the ship might be sinking. But look, this is also a team that can go on to win 8 or 10 straight games because they have that type of talent. But something is not right offensively for this team. And I look at the players, Paul George leaves Indiana. In his spot, Victor Oladipo is thriving.
Yeah.
Carmelo, Exodus, the New York Knicks, the Unicorn is thriving. So I don't know. Something else could be playing into this. I'm just not.
Could you see a scenario where the Thunder realize Paul George is not going to stay, and why would you stay, and you trade him?
I don't think they would trade them. They certainly knew this could potentially be a rental, and I think they did this, which I think, Sam Presti, was a great move for your fan base because you're showing them that you're all in. You go out and get a top 15 talent like Paul George to team with, the reigning MVP, and then you bring in Carmelo Anthony, who's a Hall of Fame talent. And you show your fan base, hey, we want to go after it this year. We don't know what's going to happen come summertime in free agency, but we're going after it this year. And the expectations were so high, it takes time for chemistry to form. But again, this team on paper, and let's throw in Steven Adams, because Steven Adams is he's not a great center, but he's a very good, capable center. So they have 4 pieces that they certainly should not be 12-14 at this point.
Talking to Reggie Miller, NBA on TNT. I know you said LeBron for MVP. I'm watching Harden, and it's.
I know.
I mean, Reg.
I go back and forth. You're right.
He sort of decides what he wants to do each game. He had 14 assists in the, first quarter or first half last night? I mean, crazy.
You're not wrong if you're picking James Harden for MVP.
Does that mean I'm right? Am I right? You said I'm not wrong, but am I right?
You're not wrong. It's all about a personal preference. I just think LeBron James, after the start they had, and then the run they went on to win 12 or 13 in a row, and the injuries, Derrick Rose going MIA, there has been no IT. I think there's better talent on Houston. And I know Chris Paul was out, the first 2 or 3 weeks, but when he came back, they've gone on a nice run. I just think LeBron James and what he has done, and I take into account both sides of the court. I do. And
okay.
I mean,
I understand
James Harden
that.
is good.
I understand that.
James Harden is great, but I got to take in both sides of the floor, and LeBron James, he just does it for me.
How do you explain LeBron shooting from three, the success he's had this year where he's shooting better than Steph Curry is?
Well, Steph has been injured not all year, but, I mean, an injury to his hand or fingers, and then obviously he's out now because of the ankle injury, so Steph hasn't been whole. For LeBron, how about at 15th year in the league, working on something that's probably not been his strong suit, his shooting. So time in the lab, really.
Yeah, but after 15 years, all of a sudden he becomes dangerous, where people now say, do you want to be in the three-point shooting contest?
No. Don't get ahead of yourself, LeBron. You're shooting great, but don't pull a Michael and say you want to be in the shooting contest, which they did grant Michael to shoot in the three-point competition one year.
How did he do? How did he do in that?
I think he finished last that year because I was in it with Larry. Let me see. It was myself, Larry, obviously Michael. It might have been Hodges, Mark Price. Was Dale Ellis in there? I think he may have finished last.
But that's not the one that Bird said, hey, who's playing for second?
This was years later.
Oh,
this was years later.
Yeah.
This was years later.
Because he wouldn't have said that to you, would he?
Larry?
Yeah, would he have walked in and said, which one are you playing for second?
I think he may have. I think he might have said it to me. And you know what? I think I might have raised my head and said me, Mr. Bird.
But who was cockier in something like that, Jordan or Bird?
Bird.
Really?
People want to go to sleep on Larry Bird's trash talking. Larry Joe Bird was a supreme Southern drawl trash talker. And that's what made it hilarious was that Indiana drawl.
Which one of you's playing for second?
I love it. I love it, legend.
Okay. Did you ever play overseas exhibition games? I saw where the Ball Boys are playing in Lithuania. I don't know if you have any experience, any stories that you played over there with the Pacers or traveling teams aside from the Olympics.
Yes, our Pacers team went to Spain and we went to Germany to kind of spread the stoke of NBA basketball. It's different, but this was in the infancy stage of world basketball, so the talent level wasn't there. They were just excited to have NBA product over there and watch us perform. The game has grown, obviously, internationally, so this is going to be curious. This is a huge call for Papa Ball and these younger Ball brothers to go over, to Russia and play. So it's different. My question is, who's going to stay over there with them? They've got to have some type of parental. Is it going to be Mama Ball? Is Papa Ball going to be going back and forth? Because you certainly, especially the younger one, you cannot have him out over there by himself. And you certainly don't want the older Ball, like being the parent over there. We all know what happened the last time there was no parental supervision for Jello Ball. So
but
they definitely need.
But Langelo is 19 and LaMelo is 16. But to be playing against these grown men over there, I don't know if it's going to – how much does it help your game, do you think, playing against guys like that in an atmosphere like that and you're away from home?
It always helps playing against older guys. I mean, you're going to get stronger. You're going to learn the game. It depends on how much they play, and according to LaVar, the reason why he probably picked this team is he knew that his two sons were going to get a lot of run. But everything I've been reading about this coach from this team, he's a lot like LaVar Ball. So we'll see how that dynamic works out. But we'll see. Here's the thing. They've got to get on the court and they've got to play. This is almost kind of possibly like Paul George. They're readying the balls for the year because they just want to get back and hopefully get drafted, which will not happen. They'll probably get drafted, but I just don't see either one of them playing in the NBA. I just don't.
Reg, who's got the Cavs with LeBron. Does LeBron say hello to you prior to the game? How does that? What happens? He does.
Well, not hello, but fist bump or a wave. That's about it.
Oh no, like.
You think we have? You think I have a problem with?
No. I'm just curious how it works when you go to the. You're a Hall of Famer. You're one of the greatest shooters in the history of the game.
I dap everyone. And I say hello to everyone. No, that's not to say everyone says hello back, but I try to say hello to everyone.
Okay, all right, and then you'll dap up the Lakers as well.
I'll dap out Lonzo and Kyle Kuzma and Ingram and, of course, Luke Walton, who I love as a head coach.
Okay, all right. Well, safe travels to Cleveland there, and have some fun as only you can, Reg.
Theodore, you are truly the best. Dad, happy holidays. Yeah. A jingle bell, a jingle bell, a jingle bell rock. A jingle bell swing and a jingle bell ding.
Hey, how are the kids? Are the kids all excited with Christmas?
Yes.
They are.
One thing that is driving me crazy, I did not grow up with this. I don't know, maybe you grew up with this. What is Elf on the Shelf? We're doing this in our household, and it is driving me absolutely crazy. Moving this elf every day.
I can't talk about it because there could be kids listening.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I got it. We're doing it.
Okay.
Hey, Elf on the Shelf is great, kids. It is fantastic. I love it.
Put Muggsy Bogues up there.
I'm not going there. I am not going to go there, Muggsy.
He could be your Elf on the Shelf. Maybe Spud Webb Elf on the Shelf there. Get Mark Price Elf on the Shelf there, too. Hey, Reg, safe travels. Thank you, bud. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, my friend.
That's Reggie Aloysius Miller Jr. III.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.